Hello students, let's continue our chapter Journey to the End of the Earth, and in this part we'll study the human impact on Antarctica and the entire world environment. So let's start. Human civilizations have been around for a paltry 12,000 years, barely a few seconds on the geological clock. So this line means कि जो human beings हैं वो इस दुनिया में सिर्फ 12,000 साल से हैं, और अगर हम कंपेयर करें पूरी दुनिया की हिस्ट्री का टाइम और ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री का टाइम, तो उसमें ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री का टाइम बहुत ही छोटा है, जस्ट अ फ्यू सेकेंड्स, राइट? सो in that short amount of time we have managed to create quite a ruckus, etching our dominance over nature with our villages, towns, cities and megacities. So let's focus on two new words here. Ruckus. Ruckus means quite disorder. Etching means you see, creating something on the surface of something using chemicals or sharp instruments, right? So इस छोटे से टाइम में, दैट इज इंसान सिर्फ 12,000 साल से है इस दुनिया में, और इस थोड़े से टाइम में इंसान ने पूरी दुनिया में डिसऑर्डर क्रिएट कर दिया है, राइट? उसने जो नेचर है, नेचर, यू सी, नेचर itself is very beautiful. So when man had not you see arrived on the scene of the planet, nature was beautiful. There were pure rivers, pure oceans, green, lush green pastures, grounds, uncut forests full of beautiful animal, deer, rabbit, and there was no pollution in the air. So when man, you see, started his activities on the planet 12,000 years ago, since that time till now, man has created disorder on this beautiful planet. You can here see, you see here buildings. So imagine a time here 12,000 years ago, maybe this place was, you see, full of forests, beautiful pastures. The rivers flowing through it must have been very, very pure. But now you look at this place, you see, out of these buildings, carbon dioxide and other poisonous gases are released into the atmosphere, and human beings living here, they are converting fresh water into, you see, dirty water, which is being discharged into rivers and oceans. So you see, human beings have created squalor everywhere by creating villages, towns, cities and megacities. So the rapid increase of human populations has left us battling with other species for limited resources. So I would like to refer here to the chapter The Ailing Planet that you read in your +1, right? In that we pondered over the issue of overpopulation or population explosion, right? So we studied at that time that how a population explosion has adversely affected the natural and ecological environment of each and every place, right? So the rapid increase of human population has left us battling with other species for limited resources. So you see, human population is increasing, and that has taken its toll on other species. So with the increase in human population, species of plants and animals have been forced to reduce, right? And the unmitigated, note down this new word, unmitigated means continuous, alarmingly rising burning of fossil fuels has now created a blanket of carbon dioxide around the world. So you see, excessive burning of fossil fuels has created kind of blanket of carbon dioxide around the world, and which has resulted in global warming. You see, as a result, increasing in the average global temperature has happened. So here you can see burning of fossil fuels, temperature rising, and here you can see the ice shelves melting, right, which is a dangerous sign, right? Let's move on to our next para. So here you see climate change is one of the most hotly contested environmental debates of our time. So everybody is talking about environment. You see at UNO debates about climate change is happening. In our country also we are organizing, you see, save environment, save forest, save water campaigns, right? So in schools we organize such competitions, debates on save environment, save water, save forest, save trees. So you see everywhere people are worried about environment. So everybody is debating on how to save our environment. So will the West Antarctic ice shelf melt entirely? So you see at Antarctica, you see here there are huge ice sheets, and these ice sheets are of pure water, and due to global warming they are melting. So as a result, now everybody is asking this question, will the West Antarctic ice sheet melt entirely? So if this happens, this will be quite catastrophic for the health of our planet. Will it be the end of the world as we know it? And you see, if the entire ice shelf if the entire ice shelf melts, it will be quite dangerous for everyone's survival. The earth's survival will be in danger. So everybody is just worried, maybe or maybe not. Either way, Antarctica is a crucial element in this debate. So you see, in this entire debate about the world environment, Antarctica is the most crucial element, right? Antarctica is very, very important in this entire debate, not just because it is the only place in the world which has never sustained a human population and therefore remains relatively pristine in this respect. भी अंटार्कटिका इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है क्योंकि वहाँ पे कभी भी आज तक कोई ह्यूमन बीइंग नहीं रही है, बल्कि इसका कोई और कारण भी है. Now note down this word pristine. Pristine means pure, untouched since the beginning. But more importantly, because it holds in its ice cores 500,000 years old carbon records trapped in its layers of ice. So Antarctica इसलिए भी जरूरी है क्योंकि इसकी जो प्योर आइस है, इसके नीचे इसकी लेयर्स में हजारों लाखों सालों के कार्बन रिकॉर्ड्स पड़े हैं. कार्बन रिकॉर्ड्स मींस पुराने से पुराने जो नेचुरल इवेंट्स हुई हैं एवोल्यूशन की, उसके निशान पड़े हैं. ये देखो यहाँ इनकी आइस शील्ड्स में यहाँ पे ये बताया भी हुआ है. जो ब्लू आइस है ये प्रोबेबल ओल्ड, ये ब्लू आइस है, ये फ्रेश अप. जो ओल्ड है ये रही डीप, मतलब ब्लू आइस ये फ्रेश आइस है, और ये प्रोबेबल ओल्ड आई जो है वो ये वाला कलर है, ये बहुत, और जो डीप आइस है वो सारी वाइट है. सो यू सी इसमें यहाँ पे ये लिखा हुआ है एलन हिल्स 2.7 मिलियन ईयर ओल्ड आइस कोर. सो यू सी ये वाला पॉइंट पे 2.7 मिलियन ईयर ओल्ड आइस है. मतलब इसके नीचे अब आप देखो कितने पुराने जमाने के, मतलब कितने मिलियन ईयर्स अगो के जो अवशेष होंगे, जो निशान होंगे वो पड़े होंगे, और इनको निकाल के स्टडी करके अर्थ का पास्ट को जाना जा सकता है, राइट. और ये वाली प्लेस है यहाँ पे, दिस इज 8 lakh year old ice core है. तो you can imagine why Antarctica is important, right? Antarctica is important because in its ice layers are lying very, very old records of planet's history. So we want to study, if we want to study and examine the Earth's past, present and future, Antarctica is the place to go. So you see, we have already read it at the beginning that if we want to know really about the very old history of our planet, so Antarctica is the place to go. And if we want to know the present, again Antarctica is the place to go, particularly from the point of view of environment preservation and ecological preservation and future. In order to know our future, we must also go to this place, right? So students on ice, note down now this new phrase, students on ice. Now beta, students on ice is a program, it's a sponsored program in which students from developing countries and other countries are taken to Antarctica by a philanthropic person, Geoff Green. So why does he do it? Look, he does it just for the sake of environment. So you see, Students on Ice is a program started by Geoff Green with the aim of spreading awareness about our environment, about the beauty of our environment among the youngsters, so that they can work together at their levels to take care of our environment. So you see, Students on Ice, the program I was working with, so you see now Tishani Doshi was selected by this program to be taken to Antarctica, right? So that's why Tishani Doshi went there. So Tishani Doshi didn't you see, go for any adventure tourism or for any traveling purpose there. She was actually given the opportunity by Students on Ice program, and the entire cost of the visit or the traveling from Chennai to Antarctica and then back was paid by this program. So you see, so that's why she was on Chokaliski. So you see, this was the ship that carried her to Antarctica. Aims to do exactly this by taking high school students to the ends of the world and providing them with inspiring educational opportunities which will help them foster a new understanding and respect for our planet. So you see here, Tishani Doshi has explained it in very easy words that she was taken to Antarctica by Students on Ice program sponsors, and the entire purpose is to inspire the youngsters to know their planet and then spread awareness among their people, the importance of the purity of our planet, the importance of preserving our planet and not doing those activities that harm our environment. So let's continue reading it. So it has been in operation for 6 years, now headed by Canadian Geoff Green. So you see here is the picture of Geoff Green, and who was leading this program at that time when Tishani Doshi was taken to Antarctica. And at that time it had been running for 6 years, and I think it is still on. So you see, who is Geoff Green now? Let's come to know. Who got tired of carting celebrities and retired rich curiosity seekers who could only give back in limited way. So you see, before he started this program, he was an adventure tourism guide. So you see, वो ये अच्छा काम करने से पहले, Students on Ice program करने से पहले, एक you see adventure tourism guide था, right? वो क्या करता था, जो बहुत रिच लोग थे, जो फेमस लोग थे, जो एडवेंचर के लिए ऐसी जगहों पे जाना चाहते थे जहां पे कोई ना गया हो, वो उनके एडवेंचर ट्रिप्स गाइड करता था, एडवेंचर टूर्स गाइड करता था और उनको लेके जाता था अंटार्कटिका में। अच्छा, जब वो उसने काफ़ी पैसा कमा लिया, तब उसके दिमाग में आया कि ये जो मैं एडवेंचर टूरिज्म करके इतने पैसे कमा रहा हूँ, इसका फ़ायदा क्या है? इससे तो मेरे को बहुत कम फ़ायदा हो रहा है। मतलब look, he didn't think about just money. He wanted to do something great. You see, our world is so beautiful and we have the responsibility to maintain its beauty. So Geoff Green felt compelled to do something for this planet. तो जब उसने बहुत पैसा कमा लिया तो he stopped doing his business, and then he started this program with students on ice. He offers the future generation of policy makers a life-changing experience at an age when they are ready to absorb, learn, and most importantly act. So then he decided that now the money he had, he should invest something wisely and responsibly. तो उसने सोचा कि जो फ्यूचर सिटीजन्स हैं इस वर्ल्ड के, मैं उनको यहाँ अंटार्कटिका में लेके जाऊंगा और वहाँ अंटार्कटिका पे आके वो ये देखेंगे कि देखिए हमारा प्लेनेट कितना सुंदर है, और सिर्फ ये सुंदर ही नहीं है, ये खतरे में भी है। और जब वो यंग मेन वहाँ अंटार्कटिका में जाएंगे, वो सेंसिटिव हो जाएंगे एनवायरनमेंट की ब्यूटी को लेकर, प्योरिटी को लेकर, और उनमें एक नई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी की फीलिंग आएगी कि हमें इस अपने सुंदर से ब्यूटीफुल एनवायरनमेंट को, प्लेनेट को बचा के रखना है। सो विद दिस पर्पस ही स्टार्टेड टेकिंग द young men and women, or especially the youngsters from all across the world to Antarctica, and he gave it the name Students on Ice program. And the reason the program has been so successful is because it is impossible to go anywhere near the South Pole and not be affected by it. And this program has been very, very successful. Right? Why successful? Because every youngster who was taken to South Pole, he was or she was affected by it. That is, they felt really responsible and sensitive to their responsibility to save the environment. Means the moment they reached South Pole and they saw its beauty, immensity, and you see its delicateness, so they became, you see, sensitive to their responsibility that they must do something to save it, which is in danger because of man's senseless and careless efforts. It is easy to be blasé. Note down the word blasé. Blasé here means indifferent, right? Not paying any attention about polar ice caps melting while sitting in the comfort zone of our respective latitude and longitude. But when you can visibly see glaciers retreating, note down the word retreating. Retreating means reducing, and ice shelves collapsing, you begin to realize that the threat of global warming is very real. So in these lines, Tichani Doshi is saying कि हम घर में बैठे बैठे हम सब ने सुना है कि ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हो रही है, जो पोल्स पे आइस कैप्स है वो पिघल रहे हैं, तो मतलब हम सब सुनते हैं अपने घरों में बैठ के और हम उसकी परवाह नहीं करते। लेकिन जब आप एक्चुअल में जाके साउथ पोल पे या नॉर्थ पोल पे खुद देखते हो अपनी आंखों से उन ग्लेशियर्स को पिघलते हुए और उन आइस शेल्व्स को टूटते हुए, देन आपको पता लगता है कि हाउ डिफिकल्ट, हाउ डेंजरस एंड हाउ रियल द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ ग्लोबल वार्मिंग इज। तब आपको रियलाइज होता है कि यार ये जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की प्रॉब्लम है ये सचमुच में बहुत डेंजरस है और हमें इसके लिए जरूर कुछ करना चाहिए। सो यू सी, विद दिस पर्पस Geoff Green started this program so that every human being living on this planet becomes aware of their responsibility towards saving our beautiful but delicate environment. Beta, here in the pictures you can see this is the South Pole, and the entire South Pole is covered with thick layers of ice, but this thickness is reducing every day. And here you see, in the second picture you can see that how much global warming has affected the glaciers. Here you can see in 1953 thick ice glaciers on some mountains, but here in 2019 you can see the mountains are all devoid of glaciers. You can see, such a big change. So it is everybody's responsibility to stop global warming. Antarctica, because of her simple ecosystem and lack of biodiversity, is the perfect place to study how little changes in the environment can have big repercussions. Note down the word repercussions. Repercussion are negative consequences, बुरे परिणाम. सो अंटार्कटिका बेटा एक ऐसी जगह है जहां पे ना जो इकोसिस्टम है बहुत सिंपल है, दैट क्योंकि वहां पे बड़े कम तरह की स्पीशीज रहती हैं, राइट, क्योंकि वहां पे लैक ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी है. सो एनवायरमेंट, अगर आपने एनवायरमेंट की स्टडी करनी है वहां जाके की जा सकती है, क्योंकि इट इज वेरी इजी, क्योंकि द फैक्टर अफेक्टिंग द एनवायरमेंट आर वेरी फ्यू देयर. टेक द माइक्रोस्कोपिक फाइटोप्लैंक्टन. अच्छा, अंटार्कटिका में एक माइक्रोस्कोपिक ऑर्गेनिज्म है जिसको हम कहते हैं फाइटोप्लैंक्टन. हियर यू कैन सी द फाइटोप्लैंक्टन पिक. सो what is a phytoplankton? Those grasses of the sea that nourish and sustain the entire southern ocean's food chain. So this is the basic food you see of all the species living in Antarctica or around Antarctica. मतलब ये फूड चेन का बेस है अंटार्कटिका का, राइट. सो the single-celled plants use the sun's energy to assimilate carbon and synthesize organic compounds in that wondrous and most important of the processes called photosynthesis. See the beauty of Antarctica and see the wisdom of God's creation. तो हमारे यहाँ पे photosynthesis होता है plant से, right? Because we have plenty of plants. But since at Antarctica there are just no plants, so the photosynthesis process is done by phytoplanktons, right? So you see they convert the carbon dioxide into oxygen. Now the phytoplanktons at Antarctica are in danger. How? Let's see. Scientists warn that a further depletion in the ozone layer will affect the activities of phytoplankton. So all of you must have heard about the ozone hole, and do you know where ozone hole is? It is exactly above South Pole. It is exactly above Antarctica. So you see, because of this ozone hole, the UV radiation of the sun passes through our environment and reaches our planet's surface here in Antarctica, right? So scientists say if this ozone layer is not healed or repaired, the UV radiation will kill phytoplankton, which will lead to you see stopping of photosynthesis there, and that will affect all food chain there, which in turn will affect the lives of all the marine animals and birds of the region. So you see, if the phytoplankton gets killed, the base of the food chain will be reduced and then dwindled, and then that will lead to the killing or death of millions of marine animals and birds that live in that region, and the global carbon cycle, right? And it will affect further the global carbon cycle. So in the parable of phytoplankton, there is a great metaphor for existence. So you see, in this example of phytoplankton, there is a secret hidden behind our existence. And what is that secret? Take care of the small things and the big things will fall into place. And this is what the metaphor is, कि आप छोटी छोटी चीजों का ख्याल रखो, बड़ी चीजें अपने आप ठीक हो जाएंगी. बिल्कुल सही बात है. इफ अगर आप रोज थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ते हो, रोज अपने हर सब्जेक्ट का थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ते हो, तो आपका जो एग्जाम में परफॉर्मेंस होगा वो बहुत ही बढ़िया होगा. लेकिन अगर आप रोज थोड़ा थोड़ा नहीं पढ़ते तो जो आपकी एग्जाम में परफॉर्मेंस होगी वो टोटली होपलेस होगी. सो you should also adopt this formula of success in your life. Take care of the small things and the big things will fall into place, right? Let's move further. So walk on the ocean. So in this section, Tishani Doshi will tell us what she did when she was at Antarctica. So my Antarctic experience was full of such epiphanies. Note down the new word epiphany. So epiphany actually is a revelation. That is when you come to know about a new thing, right? So but the best occurred just short of the Antarctic Circle at 65.55 degrees south. This means कि when she reached there, almost every new experience was kind of a revelation. That is, हर वक्त उसको जो नई चीज दिखी वो एक किस्म की एक न्यू एक्सपीरियंस था उसके लिए, और वो वाओ एक्सपीरियंस था. लेकिन जो सबसे अच्छा उसको एक्सपीरियंस लगा वो ये लगा जब उन्होंने अंटार्कटिका के ऊपर अभी उतरना ही था. सो क्या हुआ? The Chokalinsky had managed to wedge herself into a thick white stretch of ice between the peninsula and Tadpole Island, which was preventing us from going any further. तो जब Chokalinsky शिप धीरे धीरे आगे बढ़ रहा था तो रास्ते में उसके एक टैडपोल आइलैंड आया. तो अभी सारे जो थे स्टूडेंट्स और एजुकेटर्स और एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट वो शिप के ऊपर ही थे. तो तभी शोकालिस्की ने मैनेज किया अपने जो उसके शिप का अगला पार्ट था जिसको हम प्रो बोलते हैं, उसको उससे टच कर लिया. टैडपोल आइलैंड की जो ज़मीन थी उससे. फिर वहाँ से उन्होंने शिप को रोक के वहाँ से प्लैंक लगा के सभी जाने उस आइलैंड के ऊपर उतरे. सो यू सी the captain decided we were going to turn around and head back north. तो क्योंकि जो टैडपोल आइलैंड था उनको अंटार्कटिका की तरफ जाने नहीं दे रहा था, तो जो कैप्टन ऑफ द शिप था उसने डिसाइड किया कि हम इससे घूम के जाएंगे, मतलब इसकी साइड से जाएंगे. लेकिन उससे पहले कुछ एक्साइटिंग उन्होंने किया. क्या किया? बट बिफोर वी डिड वी वर ऑल इंस्ट्रक्टेड टू क्लाइंब डाउन द गैंग प्लैंक एंड वॉक ऑन द ओशन. तो तभी एक फट्टा लगाया गया शिप से, और फट्टे की एक साइड शिप में, दूसरी साइड आइलैंड की जो आइस शेल्फ थी उसके ऊपर. तो सारे उस फट्टे से आइस शेल्फ के ऊपर आए. तो बड़ी हैरानी की बात है कि जिस आइस शेल्फ के ऊपर वो आए, थोड़ी देर चले, उसके नीचे बिल्कुल समुंदर था. ये देखो यहाँ पे जो आइस शेल्फ पे वो खड़े हैं, इसके नीचे या पीछे देख रहे हो समुंदर है. तो ये समुंदर इसके नीचे भी है. तो दिस वाज अ ग्रेट एक्सपीरियंस फॉर तिशानी दोशी. सो वहां पे उन्होंने थोड़ी वॉक की. सो देयर वी वर ऑल 52 ऑफ अस. काइंडली नोट डाउन, इन दैट एक्सपीडिशन देयर वर 52 members comprising students, educators, environmentalists and Geoff Green. So all of them were wearing Gore-Tex and glares. They were kitted out in Gore-Tex and glares. So you see when you here I just show you here. So you see they are all wearing these special types of uniforms, most of them, and they are all wearing, you see, goggles, except this or this, because when the sunlight reflects from the ice, it hurts your eyes. So you have to wear special goggles and special clothes there, because the temperature is minus or below zero always. So walking on a stark whiteness that seemed to spread out forever. So they walked on pure white ice. So you see, I have already told you there is no human being, so the environmental purity is intact. There is no dust, there is no smoke in the air, because there is no human being. So you see that ice was pure white, and underneath our feet was a meter thick ice pack. So you see they were walking on 1 meter thick ice sheet, and underneath that 180 meters of living breathing salt water. और उस 1 मीटर आइस के नीचे 180 मीटर गहरा समुंदर था, और उस समुंदर में लिविंग क्रीचर्स भी थे, फाइटोप्लैंक्टन भी था, और सॉल्ट वाटर भी था. So in the periphery, crab eater seals were stretching and sunning themselves on ice floes, much like stray dogs will do under the shade of a banyan tree. So you see, आइस पे चलते चलते उन्होंने देखा कि आइस की थोड़ी दूर किनारे पे समुद्र, जहाँ पे समुद्र और आइस मिलती है, वहां पे ऐसी सील्स थी, एंड दीज सील्स आर क्रैब ईटर सील्स. दे ईट क्रैब. क्रैब मीन्स केकड़े खाती हैं ये. तो ये वहां पे बिल्कुल आराम कर रही थी, ऐसे आराम कर रही थी जैसे कि तिशानी दोषी के अनुसार मद्रास में पेड़ की छाया के नीचे डॉग्स आराम करते हैं. तो देयर एट अंटार्कटिका क्रैब ईटर सील्स वर टेकिंग रेस्ट. सो इट वाज नथिंग शॉर्ट ऑफ ए रेवलेशन. सो मैंने आपको पहले बताया कि एपिफनी इज ए रेवलेशन. रेवलेशन मीन्स एन एक्सपीरियंस इन विच यू एक्सपीरियंस समथिंग ग्रेट, डिवाइन एंड ecstatic. So it was nothing. So when she saw this scene, crab eater seals, because they are very rare creatures, so it was a kind of a rare experience for Tishani Doshi, which she liked a lot. So everything does indeed connect. So you see, everything connects. Connects means everything is interrelated. So here we are at the end of the chapter. So 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water, and many ecospheres later, I was still wondering about the beauty of balance in play on our planet. So now here she's talking about her feelings and thoughts when she reached back Chennai. So you see, when she reached back Chennai, she was thinking about those 9 time zones which she has crossed, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water, and many ecospheres later. And you see, the impact of her journey to Antarctica was so deep on her that she kept thinking about this experience all her life, right? And this effect was very, very deep, especially just after her journey to Antarctica. And she was wondering at the balance in play on our planet. She was wondering about the beauty of Antarctica, and she was also wondering about our entire planet. Will we be around to see it, or would we have gone the way of the dinosaurs, mammoths, and woolly rhinos? So here Tishani Doshi is wondering ki what will happen to Antarctica. Will there be a time when Antarctica will be as hot as it used to be 650 million years ago? और क्या हम ह्यूमन बीइंग्स तब तक जिंदा होंगे? ये देखने के लिए क्या हम भी तब तक ऐसे इस दुनिया से चले जाएंगे जैसे कि डायनासोर चले गए, मैमथ्स चले गए और वूली राइनोस चले गए? बेटा डायनासोर्स आपको पता है कैसे गए थे? काफ़ी मिलियन ईयर्स अगो, मैनी मिलियन ईयर्स अगो, ए कॉमेट हैड कोलाइडेड विद अर्थ एंड दैट हैड कॉज्ड a huge explosion and that had killed all the dinosaurs. Mammoths भी ऐसे ही धीरे धीरे खत्म हो गए, and human beings were responsible for the extinction of mammoths, and so were woolly rhinos. Who is to say? कोई कुछ नहीं कह सकता. But after spending 2 weeks with a bunch of teenagers who still have the idealism to save the world, all I can say is that a lot can happen in a million years, but what a difference a day makes. तो कहती, मैंने जब अंटार्कटिका में 2 वीक्स स्पेंड किए कुछ टीनेजर्स के साथ पूरी दुनिया में से जो आए हुए थे, तो आई हैव ए होप, सो डू द अदर टीनेजर्स हु विजिटेड देयर, दे आल्सो हैव द होप टू सेव द वर्ल्ड. क्योंकि जो यंग लोग होते हैं उनके माइंड में पॉजिटिव आइडियाज़ होते हैं, होप होती है. बूढ़े लोगों में नेगेटिव आइडियाज़ होते हैं. तो यंग लोग होते हैं जो फुल ऑफ होप एंड एंथुजियाज्म होते हैं. तो यंग लोगों में तो होप है कि हम अपने वर्ल्ड को बचा लेंगे इस जो कि इसमें इतने प्रॉब्लम्स हैं एनवायरनमेंट को लेकर, पोल्यूशन की प्रॉब्लम, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की प्रॉब्लम. तो जो यंग जनरेशन है वो काम करेगी इसको बचाने के लिए, राइट? ऑल आई कैन से इज दैट अ लॉट कैन हैपन इन अ मिलियन ईयर्स. यस, मिलियन ईयर्स में बहुत कुछ हो सकता है, बट व्हाट अ डिफरेंस अ डे मेक्स. लेकिन मिलियन ईयर्स डेज से बनते हैं. अगर हम सब लोग अपने हर डे को ऐसे जिए जिससे हमारे एनवायरनमेंट को बचाया जा सके, तो 1 मिलियन ईयर्स में भी कुछ एनवायरनमेंट के लिए किया जा सकता है. सो वी हैव टू लिव आवर डे एवरी डे इन सच ए मैनर दैट डजंट increase the global warming, that doesn't increase the pollution, and that doesn't put everybody's life on this planet in danger. So that's it, the chapter is over. Thank you.